Okay, we are moving on to 5.3, which is slope-intercept form. Your learning target today, you're going to be able to identify slope, you're going to be able to create equations, and you're not going to be able to graph points today. So you're going to be able to do those two things. This is all related to lines. We graphed lines from a table of values before. You are going to learn a very quick way to graph lines tomorrow. Today is our introduction to how to analyze an equation of a line. All equations of a line can look like this. This is a linear line. This is just some kind of line. Y equals mx plus b. Perhaps you have seen this form around. It's huge. It's huge in 8th grade, and 9th grade, and 10th grade, and college. Everything is, the foundation of linear algebra is based off of slope-intercept, it's called. The M represents the slope. So that means anything that's in front of the x is the slope of the line. Slope of a line is rise over run. The B, anything after the x, this represents our y-intercept. I say y-int. Please note, some kids have made the mistake of saying integer. Integer is not the same as intercept. What I mean by this, if I had a coordinate plane and I had an equation of a line y equals 2/3 x plus 1. I can create a coordinate plane. And it says that right here, this is my y-intercept. My y-int is 1. The y-int 1 means that the line will cross the y-axis at 1. So I can put a dot there. Okay? This is where the line crosses the y-axis. So y-intercept just means crosses the y-axis. This line crosses the y-axis at 1. And then I have a slope of 2/3. So instead of making an equation or a table, I can go, okay, I cross the y-axis at 1. My slope is 2/3. Go up 2, 1, 2 over 3, 1, 2, 3. Up 2, 1, 2 over 3. And I can make my line that way. It's huge and quick and so much easier than making a table of values. That's tomorrow's lesson though. Today you're expected to know what is the slope, what's the y-intercept, and how can I make an equation. So let's identify it. Again, y equals mx plus b. Memorize it. M is the slope. B is the y-int. When I say int, it is not integer, it's intercept. That means I cross the y-axis there. I intercept it. So y equals 3x plus 2. What is the slope of this line? 3. The 3 is in front of the x, so it's 3. It's actually 3 over 1. Up 3 over 1. Up 3 over 1. 1 just hides as often as it can. If you can let 1 hide, let 1 hide. So yes, the slope would be 3. But in all actuality, it's 3 over 1. What is the y-intercept? 2. 2. I cross the y-axis at 2. What's the slope of my second line?
-4.
-4. That would mean I'm going down. Down 4 over 1. Down 4 over 1. And what is my y-intercept?
-2.
-2. Because this is plus a negative. Okay, slope before the x, 2/3. Y-int after the x, my y-int is 5. Okay, again, let me just give you a sneak peek to what you're going to see tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be graphing these lines. I'm going to use this one since it's a little bit easier. If I were to quickly graph that one, I cross the y-axis at -2. This is my y-intercept. So I cross the y-axis at -2. Plot it. My slope is -4. That means I go down 4 over 1. down 4 over 1, connected. Hard to do when I'm not on an actual graph. Okay? It's huge. This is huge what you're seeing right now. It's amazing. Your life is so much easier now without having to make those tables. Next learning target. Create an equation of a line from the slope and the y-intercept. It always goes like this. Y equals mx plus b. Slope before the x. Y-intercept after the x. So this line, if I had a slope of 3 and a y-intercept of -5, I would say y is equal to my slope. What's my slope? 3x.
Minus 5.
Yep, so plus a -5, and then we simplify it. Y equals 3x minus 5. Now here's what some of my 8th graders do that is wrong, wrong, wrong. Don't do it. They think, okay, y is equal to my slope minus my y-intercept, or plus my y-intercept. This is not a line. This is a point, -2. That would mean if I were to draw that, I would just make a dot at -2. This is not a line. What makes a line is having the x there. You have to have that x there. Okay, make sense? All right, a slope of -2/3, y into 5. Y is equal to my slope, -2/3, times x, don't forget the x, plus my y-intercept. There's the equation of my line. Y equals mx plus b. All right, now we're jumping around. I need you to go all the way to the last page. I think it's on the back of your packet.
You have to ride before you drive.
You do. You have to write the thanks. I got it from Google. Okay.
Actually, did you make it? Got it?
I got it from Google. The next learning target is creating an equation given a graph. You're going to have 3 of these that you have to do. Remember, again, everything is y equals mx plus b. We have to know our slope. Slope goes in front of the x, and we have to know our y-intercept. So the first thing I need to do is identify my slope. That's step 1, identify your slope. Because that's what I need. The other thing I need to make a line is my y-intercept. So I need to identify what my y-intercept is. And then I'm going to get into slope-intercept form, mx plus b. Slope-intercept, because you got the slope first, the intercept second. So now the scaling of these graphs are off because of the width of the lines. So we do got to be careful. Some of us are going to get different slopes. That is strictly because of the scaling. So it's going to be okay. On your homework, we are all going to get the same thing. If we don't get the same thing on our homework, someone's doing it wrong. This, we're going to be different. So I'm going to first identify what is my slope of this line. And I'm going to pick 2 perfect points. I'm going to go ahead and pick this one and maybe this one. I don't know. It kind of looks like it goes through there. It's hard to tell because the scaling is off. And it looks like I went up 1 over 2. Up 1 over 2. Up 1. That can't work good.
Up 1 over 2.
Up 1 over 3. Up 1 over 3. Up 1 over 3. Up 1. I like that one. 1 over 3. Up 1 over 3. Y-int, where I crossed my y-axis. I crossed my y-axis right there. Y is 2. 2. Okay? Pull it all together. Y is equal to our slope times x plus your y-intercept. Okay, next one, again, the scaling is off. I can already tell but I'm just going to do my best. So it kind of looks like I'm going down 1 over 2. I'm going to just double check. Down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2, down 1.
I got 1 over 3.
Yeah, down 1 over. So it's got to be 3.
I got 2 over 5.
Well, it's negative. Down 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I could take that. But let's just call it, since the majority of us got down 1 over 3, we'll call it negative 1/3. Again, there will not be this point of confusion on your homework. Where did my y-intercept, where did I cross my y-axis? 8. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I crossed my y-axis. Y is equal to my slope, negative 1/3, times x, plus my y-intercept. Equation is done. Okay, I'm going to have you, well, it's kind of hard to do. These look like the width is a little bit better, but it's still, I think the scaling is still up a little bit. And that's because I grouped them and then zoomed them in. That's where the point of, that's where the conflict came in. So I get here up 2 over 1, 1, 2 over 1, down 2. Yeah, I think slope is 2 over 1, which is 2. Let one hide if one can hide. The y-int is 5. I cross the y-intercept right at that point, which is 5. Pull it all together. Y is equal to your slope times x plus your y-intercept. Okay, here it looks like my slope is negative 1 over 1, which is negative 1. I crossed the y-intercept right there. That looks like I crossed it at a positive 1. Pull it all together. Y is equal to your slope times x plus your y-intercept. Can one hide here, yes or no? Yes, it can. Let it hide. One has like social anxiety. If one can hide, we are letting it hide. We are calming it down. It's okay, you can go away. Okay? That's it. That's your lesson today.